Hello all, welcome to the finals of Hack to the Future 2020. Today, the teams will be pitching for the category Best in MEA region. My name is Arun Vishwanath. I'm the Innovation Champion at Finastra. Along with me, I have Shireen Ben Said, Head of Innovation Finastra. We are going to be the host for the day. So joining us today, we have an eminent panel of judges, starting with the representation from the executive leadership of Finastra, Akbar Jafar, Chief Commercial Officer Finastra, along with Alexandro Arnu, partner at Tessellate, Naeem Yunus, Head of Digital Acquisition, Commercial Bank of Dubai, Rohit Garg, Head of Business Banking and Neobase Mashreq Bank, Zinab Beis El Kvesh, Head of Innovation and Partnership BCP, and finally Idris Benona, Deputy General Manager CIH Bank. Welcome all judges. It's really great to have you all from around the world. So as you see a little bit about Hack to the Future in numbers, as you can see for 2 months, over 4,600 hackathon participants came together virtually and globally from over 100 plus countries, starting from Fiji to Antarctica to solve some of the most pressing challenges in the financial services. Hack to the Future is also supported by some great partners, as you can see from the image. There are a lot of big names on the roster, to name a few, from Google, Microsoft, Amazon, KPMG, from RBC to Mashreq, Accenture to Tessellate, you name it, you can see it all over. Thanks to all our sponsors and partners. What it takes starts the prize for the Best in EMEA. The prize for the event is incubation opportunity with Tessellate. Thanks to our sponsors again. I will show you the flow of the program. So there we have 7 teams joining us for this final. These 7 teams are trying to solve some of the problems from the financial services that fits in the MEA region. With that being said, I think we are good to start with the presentation, right, Shireen?
Absolutely, and we'll start with Team FinSmartland, and that would be with you, Pradimit. The floor is yours. You have 5 minutes, including questions and answers.
Hey, hi, Shireen. Hi, Arun. So let me just share my screen first. So am I audible and my screen is visible?
Yeah, we do see your screen and we do hear you.
Okay, cool. So hello all, my name is Sumit and I'm from Finastra's retail banking team, and on behalf of my team, I'm presenting the idea called as FinSmartland, which is an innovation for loan origination using PSD2 in current COVID times. Okay, so speaking about the problem statement that we are trying to solve here. We all know the impact of COVID crisis. So it has impacted the financials of individuals and disrupted it. And that has drilled down to a disruption in the existing loan origination processes. Okay, so here we are trying to address 2 challenges in current COVID times with the loan origination process. The first is with the loan repayment. So we all know that during this volatile times, there are job losses, there are income expense fluctuations, and how do banks still predict the loan repayment risk for existing loans? Because all previous correlations has been broken and it doesn't make sense to use any of the existing historical credit risk data. So banks would need something to continuously monitor loan repayment risk in real time post a loan disbursement. And the second part of our innovation is basically some of the processes in the loan origination journey are not really digital behind the scenes. In current COVID scenario, the process of deciding the loan eligibility by using salary and income documents is still a manual step, which is time taking for consumers as well as not cost effective for banks. So is there an alternative for this? Because existing credit scores for loan decisions are no more relevant. So we are hacking through COVID-19 to address these challenges, as well create opportunities for our FFDC ecosystem. Let's see how. So using FinSmartland, it's an FFDC application where we are using PSD2 as our innovation fuel along with the loan application. So we take a PSD2 consent of the customer, and along with that we use FFDC open APIs and our FFDC PSD2 partners Saltage and AI to actually achieve the solutions to the problem that I had described on the last slide, which are majorly like solving the problem of manual document verification through a digital cash flow analysis, which also enables us to do instant loan decisioning, as well as use the PSD2 account monitoring consent to actually connect multiple bank accounts during your loan application process, and post disbursement check continuously for any defaulting risk or any stress on the repayment accounts. Here, our main innovation field is basically PSD2, and we are using some of the one of our FFDC partners for PSD2, which is Saltage. And along with that, we are also creating collaboration opportunities for more FFDC partners, loan aggregators, where they can push in personalized loan offers through the usage of the PSD2 that we are handling in our application. Now let's see a quick demo. So how we have integrated PSD2 with our loan application process. I'll just move on to my browser. And here we have developed a Power App for the loan origination process. And I will try to create an application for a client called as Jason for an amount of 5,500 with a length tenure of 24 months. And I will click on next. So here, this app is basically created using the FFDC API. So all the details that you see actually coming from our core banking system through FFDC. Okay, so we take the minimal personal details that are required to process the application. And once we are done with that, so here is how the flow goes basically. So after taking the personal details, we do take the PSD2 consent basically to have
1 minute left.
Yeah, so we take the PSD2 consent basically to have the customers connect to their existing for their loan repayments account to any other banks. So usually we would have used a manual process of collecting the documents and then verifying the income expense of the customer, but that's time taking. Instead, we innovatively use a PSD2 account monitoring as well as account information consent, where the customer can connect any of their bank accounts that they want to use for loan repayments. And then using that, what we do is we determine the cash flows of the customers dynamically. So something like this, where the cash flows are determined dynamically through AI, and then the loan decisioning basically happens on the fly. So it's basically an instant loan origination.
20 seconds left. I suggest moving to at least one question.
So here you see the loan origination happens instantly. And post loan origination, what we do is we use the same PSD2 consent basically to determine if there are any risk for the customer, if there are any repayment stress for the customer, which we again do by using the consent that we have got during the loan application, as well as predictive analysis. So if you see that Jason Manford, if he loses his income, if he loses his job, say after 3 months of repaying the loan, we can still see the forecast of his repayment stress. His income is decreasing and his expenses are steadily going up. So what is his repayment stress on the account? So with this, banks can try to mitigate the repayment stress that you had on accounts.
Sorry, Pratima, to interrupt you. The time is over.
Sure. So yes, this was our solution in a nutshell, and I'm open for questions.
Unfortunately, we don't have time for questions.
Okay.
Sorry about that. So we need to move on to the next.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
So the next team what we have is responsible trade services for an agricultural cooperative. Are you guys on call?
Yeah. Hello everybody. We are a responsible trade services team and we are presenting Green Funding app. Many remote professionals are facing economic or health crises, just like John. Green Funding is here not only for calling on a solidarity funding network of companies, but also to help the lenders in their socially responsible decisions, all with Loan IQ and FTI automatically engaged. Our application has two profile access. The first one is the customer who can connect to the application, submit the purchase order. The second one is the bank agent who approves the requested funding and create deal facility and letter of credit. Technically speaking, Green Funding is a distributed application we built from scratch during this hackathon, based on Flutter technology for iOS and Android compatibility. It communicates with two different types of APIs using HTTP clients, FFDC APIs and locally deployed APIs in PHP Server. So here is a demo of our application. The customer connects to the app, creates a new order by selecting multiple products from multiple categories rated by carbon footprint. He can also choose the shipping method and suppliers. When done, he can consult full details of his current order and the final price after discount. The bank user gets to consult the newly submitted order to approve it or decline it. Once approved, FFDC APIs are called for deal, facility, and LC creation. The bank user can also choose from a set of lenders who will contribute to the payment. The app users can consult FTI and LoanIQ objects, thanks to open APIs. So now, all SMEs can easily access funding anywhere. In our app, all the parties end up with benefits. The bank can gain new clients, can automatically engage LoanIQ and FTI in the process. The lender gets business assistance and possibility of participation in the capital of the company. The beneficiary get project financing at reduced rates, secured payment, and he gets to choose green products and green suppliers. Our app helps the beneficiary get his business back and makes everyone happy. We think to enlarge the network by ensuring the lenders that are not interested in the social impact. We think also of adding more functionalities such as trade product, supply chain method, and provide other payments method as wallet, credit card. Thanks for your attention. Your questions are most welcome.
We've got 2 minutes for questions. Any questions from the judges?
Yes, thanks for the presentation. Just a quick question. You mentioned that there's grocery purchase which is being financed in the application that you showcased. So I'm not very sure who's financing whom.
Actually, not grocery. These are suppliers for the companies, small and medium companies. And who's financing it is the people who want to help for a social reason. They're just trying to help new or smaller companies that are in crises during this pandemic or maybe any other phenomenon. You're welcome.
Any other questions for the team?
So yes, please. So there are three main actors in this. So there is the beneficiary, so the farm, and there is the SME, and then there is the bank. So three main actors in this process, right?
Yes, the beneficiary, that can be a farmer or any SME that's is in a problem.
Farming.
The bank, yes, who's launching the app, and also any other company or just person that wanting or willing to help in this process.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Other questions?
Just one more question. Who takes the credit risk?
Sorry?
Who takes the credit risk?
The
It's
risk,
the bank.
who takes the bank? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the bank.
Okay.
Time is over. Thank you all for the questions, and we'll be moving on to the next team.
Coming next, we have Enter Bubble Technology.
Enter Bubble Technology (EBT) allows any banking app user to enter digital stations of real-world places called bubbles and spontaneously micro-network with brands and people in that bubble and drive instant collaboration by requesting real-time products and services. For example, one can buy a movie ticket on a banking app the exact minute the end user is in queue to buy the ticket. Similarly, at a clinic, pay the doctor's fee directly using the same banking app via the EBT API. Banks can dynamically alter their client engagement model and add value in real time. Hello, I am Akalya, product lead of EBT, developed by Smile Turtle Group STG, founded by Vijay Allen, our CEO. EBT reimagines the concept of digital marketing. Proven and tested, the EBT API integrates with any app, enabling end user to reach banks operating in that bubble without divulging any sensitive or personal information. As a prototype, EBT created a sensational effect as a key disruptor in the Smart City initiative in India, Expo 2020 Dubai, Taj Group of Hotels, several challenger banks, airports, colleges and other industries. In the last 3 months, we completed 100 demos with positive outcomes. EBT empowers Finastra clients by providing real-time information on products, services and offers based on changing preferences and instant requirement, thus adding real value and converting potential leads. Bring the world into your bank. EBT and EBT API is your window to infinity, allowing you to disrupt at will and putting the world in your hands. We ask that you list our API on your marketplace where we can go sell this disruptive solution to your clients who can then provide empowerment as a service to their end users. Thank you.
And we've got a bit more than 2 minutes for questions.
Yeah, I'd like to start with a question. The proposition really depends on the two factors: the supply and the demand on this app for banks to acquire or to want to use the API. How do you suggest or what's your strategy to get the demand and the supply to make it viable enough for usage?
Hello all. Okay. Regarding EBT API or EBT, it is unique and it is dealing with the social micro networking. And from the bank's perspective, they can use, for example, you are in a bubble. For example, I take Vox Cinemas. They are subscribed to EBT API. And the end users are not chargeable. They can come to Vox Cinemas and they are in the bubble. They need not give any sensitive information and they can just use the products or whatever the information there in that bubble. And bubble can collaborate with any banking banks, and banks can watch the user's journey in that bubble, and based on that they can create real-time ads and attract the users. Therein they get the benefits. It is like instead of doing the analysis based on the transaction, we can do the trend analysis on markets based on the users who are using the bubbles, who are live in that bubble. So we can have more clarity on what people needs. Bank can have more clarity on what people needs. So thus it is bridging the gap between what people want and what bank provides. So bank can be more clear and give more ads in real time, and thus bringing the customer to the bank.
My question is, how will you bring the people such as Vox Cinemas and other players and have enough of them for a customer to want to use this app, to download another app and use this app, for then the bank for it to have enough users so the bank would want to connect their API to it. So how are you getting the Vox Cinemas, the Carrefours, the entertainment, the shopping onto this app? And then what's your strategy to get the people to use this app?
Okay, we are trying, we will showcase our product and give demos to all the merchants, and whoever subscribe to the API, EBT API, they can just do the marketing at our end also, as well as us. And thus, instead of, for example, if I have Vox Cinemas or other shopping, they'll use, from the end user's perspective, they have to have multiple apps in their app. Instead, EBT serves all the purpose. So if multiple merchants join EBT, so you end user do not need to download every app. Instead, they can just download EBT and just
Sorry to interrupt
subscribe.
you, Kalea. The time is over. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
So joining us next, interoperability for trade and supply chain finance.
Hi, we are very excited to participate in this Hack to the Future hackathon organized by Finastra and to present our project Interoperability for Trade and Supply Chain Finance with you all for this final stage. The idea behind our project comes from a simple analysis. On one side, fintechs such as Marco Polo, Comgo, or Contour are changing the market of trade and supply chain finance, providing new innovative solutions. On the other side, trade finance and supply chain finance markets continue facing challenges in terms of compliance, regulatory, security. To face those challenges, financial institutions require scalability to manage volume growth, interoperability to manage multiple clients' acquisition channels, and enhance risk management capabilities. That is why we decided to create this interface between FTI and Marco Polo in order to manage one product, the receivables discounting, and work on the following business case defined with our sponsor for this hackathon, the French bank Natixis. The business case is divided into 3 successive flows to cover the overall process: funding program creation, invoice upload, and financing management. Our application works as a middleware between Marco Polo and FTI, leveraging on open APIs to receive and push data between both systems. Let's consider the process of invoice upload, for example. We are notified of the upload of a new invoice using Marco Polo API to listen to a notification queue. Once notified, we get data from Marco Polo using another API, convert it into FTI's format, and then push the new file into FTI using FFDC's API. So now let's demo part of our work with the upload of invoice. Now let's connect to Marco Polo to upload the invoice. So first we have to pick up the right program on which we want to upload that invoice, and browse to select the CSV file containing all data about that invoice. Once the upload is complete, let's switch to FTI, where we can open the supply chain finance module and see that the invoice is pending in the dashboard. The invoice is marked as eligible for financing and the bank can keep on processing it. Many thanks for your attention and feel free to ask any question.
Hello. So I have a question. So it's a solution that banks can provide to their the SMEs, right?
Yes, right. It's a solution for the bank actually to provide them scalability. So tomorrow, if a customer of the bank is uploading invoices in order to get financed, they will upload maybe 1,000 invoice at the same time. So the purpose of this interface is to get all the data automatically from Marco Polo and to create the same in FTI. The bank can then process the invoices, and at the later stage, when the SME will ask for financing of those invoices, it's the same flow. The SME will send a finance request on Marco Polo. We will get them with our interface and create the financing product in FTI, so the bank can then check the limits, maybe the compliance and so on before providing the finance.
But are there any technical prerequisites for this? For example, concerning the core banking system or any other conditions that may facilitate, make it easier to integrate? Or is it...
No. Our solution is based on FTI for the back office of the bank. So this would be the main requirement. But then we already have the half interface with Marco Polo, so we would be able to integrate it with other back office systems.
Hey, Sebastian, quick question from me, Akbar. What's the model you're going to use in terms of commercialization? Transaction model? Is it kind of software subscription model? Or
okay, actually, yeah. Actually, we have built a platform, provide an offer as a service to accelerate digitalization and facilitate the access to technology, targeting the banks for tier 2 to 3 until tier 7. So we have built this platform, and this interface could be a component of this platform.
All right. Thank you.
Time is over. Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Moving on to the next team. And the next one to go, oh, sorry, Arun, please go ahead.
Go ahead, Sharon.
The next team to go is Team Romulus with Harry, and we'll start with the video.
Great, thank you. Hi, this is Hari from Agrigore Labs. We'd like to present our product, Romulus for Trade Finance, to address the problem statement promoted by Atijari Wafa Bank. Romulus is a document intelligence platform built for financial services. Romulus combines computer vision and natural language processing with the power of knowledge graphs. This combination has then been trained on close to 100 million documents. As a result of this training, Romulus has an understanding of the core DNA of many different types of documents that financial services firms encounter and is able to drive a number of different automation use cases. The requirements as we understand them are a solution that can extract information both from Swift messages and documentary evidence, discover discrepancies between the two and ensure alignment with international rules, and finally a solution that is integrated into digital workflow to minimize manual administration. The starting dashboard helps you keep track of all the LCs across their lifecycle. Each row corresponds to a single LC presenting basic information as well as the current status of each. When you're ready to issue an LC and have generated an MT700 message to be sent to the exporter bank, click here to upload it to Romulus manually. Romulus uses the Fusion Fabric's issuance API to create an issuance record in your existing systems. Once you receive claim documents, you can similarly upload them after scanning. You can also receive these documents via API integration. Inspection is now complete. The inspection status throws some issues. These checks have been put together based on UCP 600 rules. You can now choose to either override these flags or reject the claim after adding your own comments. Clicking now on change logs, you can see that every action and state is recorded and available here for review, including our reject message. Finally, clicking on review allows you to see the underlying documents and the information extracted from them. Romulus for Trade Finance delivers automation across extraction, reconciliation, and integration. We are confident that we'll be able to help you achieve the stated goals of reducing processing time and improving back office efficiency.
And we've got 3 minutes.
Thank you, Shri.
Thank you, Hari.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yes,
Mike.
please.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah. So, question, there are multiple automation solutions available for trade finance processing of invoices.
Right.
What are the one or two differentiators for this solution?
Sure. So I think the core differentiator for us is that we've taken a very context-first approach to automation. What that means is we first train our engine on a large number of documents so that it natively understands the context of any document. So we've already trained on 100 million documents. So we're able to, out of the box, let's say, recognize a bill of lading or recognize, let's say, an invoice and so on. And what that means is, especially in situations when you're getting documents from third parties, the format and the structure of that document is not in your control. And therefore, this is the failure point for a lot of traditional automation solutions, which are very much format and structure dependent. And therefore, Romulus is able to sort of do a much better job at dealing with extraction in these situations. The second differentiator for us is that we've built a very robust rule engine technology that is sitting on top of the knowledge graph. It's very easy to implement any kind of rules that you may have as business policies as well as international rules, or link into third-party databases and do things like vessel checks. So all of that is very easily implemented. So for this particular engagement, it took us about 2.5 weeks to put this together off of like the core engine, which is trained on a number of other document types. Thank you.
Thank you.
And please, what is your business model?
Sure. So we are new to trade finance as a use case, but we've done a lot of other document automation problems in custody, middle office, and so on. We typically charge per activity or per document. And typically, we can also do it per API call. Depending on the complexity of the process, we charge somewhere between $2 and $25 per inspection or per process. So for example, if it's something like a full scale, let's say KYC or custody process, it typically will be closer to $25. If it's basic extraction and just reconciliation, then it will be closer to $2 per document or per inspection. We have not yet priced our trade finance capability exactly. Yes, that's right.
It's a licensing model.
Exactly. You get a licensing model, and with that you get credits, and you can sort of figure out how much you want to use and top up and so on.
A quick one. This solution is already used somewhere. You have already a client basis, or you are still, right, I will say, under research and development.
Right. So we have our core engine has been used for other use cases which are already in production. We deal with a number of different buy-side and sell-side firms, including one of the world's top 5 private equity firms by AUM and a tier 1 US bank that's a bulge bracket bank. But these are custody, entity onboarding, and middle office use cases. We are reasonably new to trade finance. We've been very, very helped a lot by Atijari Wafa Bank, who's been guiding us as far as adapting to this particular use case is concerned. So the engine is still the same. The workflow, the processes, and the checks, we've been guided by the bank in putting this together, and we're hoping to commercialize it soon with Finastra.
Excuse me, last question. Okay.
Okay. I'm very happy to take questions offline.
Okay. Thank you, Hari.
Absolutely. We'll be happy to connect you with all the teams here afterwards if you'd like to continue the discussion. So yeah, time to move on to the next team.
Coming next to page, banking for you.
Okay, I'll share my screen. Okay. My name is Faith Kangechu, presenting on Banking for You from SG New Tech. Our idea was to build a platform that uses a customer's mobile money transaction data to determine loan eligibility. Financial institutions will be able to use their own scoring criteria to rate and score the customer to determine the amount they can qualify for, if any. So we have multiple data sources. In this case, we're using M-Pesa, or you can use CRB, and it's a scalable model for banks to customize their lending. What were we trying to solve? We wanted to have a single point of access for financial institutions that are connected to Finastra. Banks will be able to give loans against cash flow, and it's a risk-based lending because banks will give different loan amounts at different interest rates based on the customer's risk profile. Our target market is small business owners and individuals. The benefits include it encourages cashless transactions for the customer. It can be used by financial institutions to identify potential customers, and it uses mobile phones as initiation points for loans. Here's our architecture. We have an app that's connected to an API that has a rating, analysis, and loan and customer component, all which stores data in an NoSQL DB, MongoDB in this case. So we have a Fusion Cloud connector that connects to the Fusion Fabric Cloud loan API, and we have different financial institutions connected to the cloud. Here are the different screens for our working prototype that we built using Android Studio. We have the login screen where you can input your email and phone number, sign up screen with OTP verification. Then we have our dashboard where the user can view and have an overview of their transactions by month, or total and average transactions, and we have breakdowns of the income and expenses. Then on the loan screen, the user is provided with different loan options based on the risk profile, where they can either, once they select a loan, they can either get the full amount or input a different amount that's lower than the amount stated. So for further improvements, we aim to develop PSSD to capture larger market share due to the use of feature phones, and integration with telcos to obtain customer data directly, because currently we're capturing customer data from mobile messages. So here is the API. I'll just show you a few endpoints. For our models, we have a few models with different characteristics. So these are different models used by different institutions with different characteristics. We have different institutions here. And then this is the data that is sent by the API. From the app to the API, and once the data is sent, this is the result we'll get. So for this institution, the score of the user is 0.2, which is doubtful, and this is the amounts and the rates that they can get the loan. For this institution, the score is 0.5, which is a loss, so this user does not qualify for any loan here. Thank you. Any questions?
We've got 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yes, Phil, thank you. It was very, very impressive. Just a quick question. Is there a rule engine which defines whether or not the loan will be approved, or the decision is taken by the lender and then sent back as information over the?
So once the customer is rated, as you can see here, the rule is the customer is given a score, and based on that, just the bank will be able to define the rating criteria. But based on our example banks here, we have this customer doesn't qualify for anything because we've set a condition for it, but you can update it based on what the bank prefers. So it's scalable in the case that can be updated, and the bank will define on their own.
Thank you.
Any other question?
Quick one. Customers these days rely on multiple cards and multiple accounts and multiple banks they bank with. How's that factored in?
So for this, we went with banking for the unbanked. So we're targeting customers that don't have bank accounts. So we have customers, especially in Kenya, you'll find small traders who mainly sell vegetables on the street and all that. So we're encouraging them to log their transactions by using M-Pesa, which is provided by Safaricom, our leading communication company in Kenya. So once they use that, we'll be able to get the data, the transaction data directly from the phone and use that to score the customer. So we're not taking into account customers that have different bank accounts. Any other question?
Is it a working prototype, or you've also got any installation as yet?
It's a working prototype. Yes.
Okay, it's quite interesting. I worked with Safaricom in the past, so good luck. It's an excellent innovation.
Thank you.
And the time is over. Thank you, Faith.
All right. So the final team to present in Best in MEA category, Charity Minder.
Hello everyone, I hope you can see my screen. So, Charity Minder is a simple reminder for good. So, let's move. So, the team has been built on Slack with Hacking for Good Slack. So, the team is composed of me, François Lannes, and a developer of Finastra, Octavian, and Michael that we met on Slack about this project, so from Nigeria. So, why we have built this problem, this solution? In a study, a lot of people are donating on a non-scheduled basis. That's one point. The other point is charity institutions are spending a lot of money to reach their donator for renewing their donation, sending paper mail, paper letters, calling them by phone. And in the other hand, bank has a lot of data. So let's try to leverage them for good. And for sure, Google won't hesitate to leverage the data that the bank has. What is Charity Minder? Charity Minder gives you a simple reminder that you have donated last year and asks you if you just want to renew. This is something that is embedded into your bank app. It can be a mobile app, a web app. It can be even by SMS. As a working prototype, we have developed a web app. So this is all about leveraging open banking for good. What it does, it's, as mentioned, a simple reminder. You go to your bank, to your app, and you get your notification that last year you have donated $50 to the Red Cross. And do you want to renew? Yes, no. If you click on yes, you get to the screen about to do that, to give you amount, and that's it. It's simple. This is working, and I can show you quickly the demo. So I'm here on FishFabric.cloud. I log into my app. So I do account. I'm looking on my app, and boom, I have my teeny reminder. I've supported Red Cross last year. Do I want to my payment renew? I can click yes. I can click my amount. $10 and donate. That's it. I've done my donation and now I can go further. And by the way, that is fully working. You can do your account leveraging open APIs of Finastra. So, what's next for our project? There is simple access to where we could work on. First of all, working with bank to add this feature inside their mobile app. We could also work with PFM provider like BankIn or several others. There is a topic about working with charity org to be included, and so to have more and more charity orgs inside this app. And there is also a topic because we did with many countries about transaction categorization. And here there is plenty of providers, I mentioned Tink here as one, so that we are able to really distinguish that, okay, you have donated based on your history to the Red Cross, but Red Cross is called the Red Cross, but it can be called in something else in other language, and that it is categorized as a donation. So all is about unlocking the power of the data of bank. And we can extend it to other domain, add some data protection management, etc., data privacy. And again, one of the topic is unlock the power of data that bank has, because for sure with open banking, other players will do it. So what about not banking doing? That's it. That's right reminder. So a reminder for good, built by 3 people from different locations.
And we've got 1 minute for questions.
I have a question concerning the viability of the model, because as we know now, we are in a crisis context and people have a decrease in their revenues, so it's really difficult to make donations. I was just wondering if this may be more relevant concerning certain religious groups. For example, for Muslims, we have the zakat once a year, so maybe it's more relevant because we know that once a year, so people have to give a certain amount of their money to the poor. So maybe, so you have this yearly frequency that you can use, but I think that's really important maybe to target these kinds of people who have this sensibility to donations, because now with generally with the crisis, I think it's really difficult to push people to make donations, as I think. So it was just.
Yeah. That's right, and also in Europe you have all about tax return that appears once a year. And that's a kind of periodic stuff that you need to go that in January at least, and tax return is a good use case as well.
I have just a quick one. I know we're short on time. Banks right now are doing contextual marketing, and you know, customer engagement and marketing automation is really big on all banks' agenda. Why would they need a third party such as yourself when they can have the capabilities and build the capabilities to do it in-house with the existing softwares?
It's all about an open banking and open finance. Bank can build their own for sure, but it would be spending money. Whereas partnering is about you take the app on the shelf, and it's just about integrating. For sure, bank has the capacity to do it, but for doing categorization, you need to partner.
Sorry, François, to interrupt you. Time is over. Thank you. And thanks to all of our 7 teams here. You've all done an amazing job presenting today. Thank you.
All right, so thanks to all the judges, all the viewers from around the globe, and all the participants. It was a great show, and all the winners will be announced on 27th of January. Meanwhile, please visit the fusionfabric.cloud store, where you can see all the apps coming from all the different categories of this Hack to the Future. And please vote for the best app you feel that you have a prize. With that being said, on a closing remark, Shireen, you want to?
Thank you all. Thanks a lot, Arun. Thanks again to our judges. We really appreciate your time. Hope you enjoyed the experience today. Thanks to all the teams. You've done an amazing job, and you're already done a lot by being amongst the finalists here, 7 best teams in the MEA region out of more than 250 submissions globally. Congratulations to all of you, and thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.